I've put together a free tool to help you visualize how the climate in your city is changing up to the year 2050 in a really easy way. So in 2019, a study was published by Baston et al., which looked at climate change from a city analogues approach. So essentially, if you take the city you live in or any major city like London or New York, project to 2050 and how we think the climate will change depending on one of the IPCC's climate scenarios. Which existing city in the world will the climate in 2050 of London or New York most resemble? And so this makes it very tangible to start to visualize how the climate will be changing. So for instance, according to this paper, London is becoming more like Barcelona over the next 30 years in terms of its climate becoming drier and hotter. Seattle is becoming more like San Francisco, Tokyo becoming more like Changsha, and it goes on and on for 500 major cities around the world. The thing is, if you want to dig into the data and find a really particular city and how that is going to change, you have to go into the supplementary information, find this spreadsheet, and basically it's just really quite difficult to use. It's very scientific, it's very statistical, but for the average person who just wants to get some access to some quick data, this is not very usable. So what I've done is I've just taken that data, which is under a Creative Commons license. I've taken that and I've just tidied it up and I've made it a bit more visually appealing. And importantly, I've made it easily searchable so that you can find your own city or the city you're interested in and get some data really quickly. So I'll explain how the spreadsheet works. Now, it is a spreadsheet. It's not a thing of great beauty. And immediately upon opening it, you think, oh my God, there's a lot of columns here. There's a lot of data. What I want you to focus on for now is the colored columns here on the left. And anything that's in black and white and gray over here is just extra data if you want more detail. The way I would expect you to use this, if we just zoom in a little bit so you can see over here, on this column on to the far left, you have current city. So this is the baseline we're going to be working on. And as you can see, this is a list of major world cities in alphabetical order, from A to Z. So what you can do, I presume you'll have a city in mind. It might be where you live or where you're doing a particular project or just somewhere you're curious about. What you do is you go in here, you click it has toggles, so you can organize the data any way you want. So what I suggest is you go over here to current city, you click the little button here, the arrow, and then you can either put it in alphabetical order, which it already is, but you can just search and you can put in something like New York. And as you can see, New York pops up right here, and it just cleans up the data. So we're not looking at everything all at once, we're just looking at one city at a time. And what this tells you is our current city is New York, and then it gives you, in the blue columns, it gives you 3 cities, existing cities, that New York's climate will be most like in the year 2050. And in this case, it's Virginia Beach, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. So it gives you 3 options because it's not a perfect science, basically. The scientists looked at the data of the projections for how New York's climate will change, and then they mapped it onto the 3 cities that were the most similar to that projection. And so you get a bit of a range, and you get an understanding that, don't take any one of these too seriously, but you get an idea of the direction of travel and the way things are changing. Final thing to say is this tool, this spreadsheet, is available for free on my website. The link is in the description of this post. And feel free to use it, feel free to share it. I hope it's useful in your work. I'd love to know how you are using it, and if you found it useful, feel free to email me or message me on LinkedIn.